Okay, so this is Middleman's review of the Commodore 64x. This unit I got about a week ago. I ordered the unit sort of middle of May, and yeah, it came sort of came last week. First of all, the case is slightly, compared to the original one, it's slightly larger, the keyboard size. It used to be 4 rows of keys on the old machine, and there's 5 rows on this one. The keys are on a flat surface, whereas the old ones were angled, and also the color of the keys, these are more brown, whereas the old keys were black. And you've got the function keys here. You've got a power button. Power button allows you also the normal sort of sleep functions of a PC. It's also quite heavy as well. It's over 3 kilos in sort of weight, or according to the box anyway. Now there'll be some differences with the old machine. In particular, this is using a sticker, whereas the old machine had a metal plate. That's one of the key differences you'll see. Well, my machine is an Ultimate, so this has got 4 gig of DDR2 RAM. I think it's 667 megahertz or 800 megahertz. I've got a slot load Blu-ray drive on the side here, and most all of the machines have memory card slots on the side. We've got T-Flash, XD, STMMC, memory stick Duo, and the normal compact flash slots. There's also an extra USB slot here. The machine comes with 4 to 5 USB 2 slots, HDMI, DVI, and also VGA slots. And on the back here, as you can see, you've also got the Ethernet port, the normal PS2 ports, and yeah, the sound ports on the back as well. So anyways, on my machine here, I've actually installed a dual boot Ubuntu 11.04 and also Windows 7 on a dual boot setup using the Grub 2. Anyhow, I've got the system set up here, and as you can, you've got your Ubuntu here. Now there's a thing with the installation. I mean, the initial install was very smooth. Didn't have sort of too many issues. Networking and wireless was okay, but it's only after the end of the Ubuntu installation I came across some troubles with the Broadcom drivers, and what I did was I just run the additional drivers thing, and it sort of reinstalled it. There's also some tweaks I did. You can find it on the Commodore-Amiga.org website. I'm a regular there, so we're still debugging it as we speak, but it looks alright. Anyhow, I had the NVidia proprietary drivers installed after the Ubuntu install, and contrary to some people's reports of not getting full HD, I am actually getting a full HD setup using the Monitors app. I mean, I've set my machine to 1280 by 720 at the moment, but I can go all the way up to 1920 by 1080p. Sorry, 1080 res. So this is a pretty much capable machine. So dual Atom 1.8, running on the NVidia ION2 chipset, which I believe is based on the NVIDIA GT218 chipset. Anyhow, so yeah, the first things first, the keyboard this is a cherry blue keyboard. The keys work absolutely fantastic. They're very, very tactile, very, very quick to use. So if you're doing sort of programming, whatever, you'll fit right into this. You've got the function keys on here. You've got you've got to press the function key in order to use the page up, page down sort of menu buttons here. And you've also got the Commodore key as well. That's one of the big differences about having an actual Commodore keyboard. Now, one of the other differences I've noticed is that you've got the grey function keys here. Now, on the old Commodore keys, there was about 4 sort of sets of function keys. These are now 5. And the great thing about it is that from the get-go on the installation, these keys have been tweaked to run Ubuntu. So when I press like the volume up, volume down, they actually work. And you can actually set this using the keyboard shortcuts application on Ubuntu. So if you've got any issues there, you could set it up. So yeah, I'm going to try Windows and a few other things as well. So this will be the first part. Okay, before I do any sort of any more tests on the hardware, and just want to talk about the spec of the machine, the fit and finish, and also what came with the machine. First of all, the machine is my machine is a Ultimate C64, so it contains it has a Blu-ray drive, 4 GB of DDR2 SD-RAM, which is 667 or 800 MHz. Contains a 1 TB Hitachi drive, and also comes with wireless 802.11 A and B standard, and there's also 1 GB Ethernet port on the back. You've also got the standard SPDIFs, HDMI slot, VGA port, and also DVI port as well. My machine came with a copy of Ubuntu 10.10 and 11.04, which is in the CD sleeve, a copy of the user's guide, which is majority of Ubuntu user's guide, with a Commodore USA front cover sheet, and also a 12-volt power adapter. This is actually a voltage, automatic voltage select, so if you're living in Europe or anywhere else in the world, you don't have to worry. So you just need to get a 3-pin sort of standard PC cable, 3-pin cable, and just plug it in. My machine was, as I say, is because it's ordered from the States, came with the US plug, so I had to find an alternative 3-pin plug for my machine. Okay, as far as fit and finish goes, I mean, I was happy generally with my machine, but there was just some niggles that I had. For example, the label on the top here wasn't sort of quite straight going inside. My CD slot was a little bit sort of out of place. It's just it needs to be moved a little bit, but I don't want to avoid warranty just yet. And also there was sort of bit of finish on the back here. It wasn't quite. Let's just go closer. It wasn't quite quite straight. It looked like as if it needed to be filed off. But apart from that, the machine is generally okay. I mean, I was sort of quite happy with that. Other things, well, the machine runs sort of fairly hot. I don't know if I've said it before, but the back of the unit is okay, but it's just that the bottom part underneath here, it actually runs sort of very hot. Not enough to fry an egg, but hot enough to be just a little bit concerned. So I may be getting a fan plate soon to sit this on top to run my machine. Okay, so I just want to show you guys what the C64X is like when you first start it up. So here we go. see, we've got the AMI BIOS, so I'm going to press delete. This brings us to the standard BIOS menu. So we've got standard BIOS features, advanced BIOS features, integrated peripherals, power management setup, PNP PCI configurations, PC health status and miscellaneous control. So we'll go on to these. We've got the standard hard drive menu. We've got CPU feature here. Hyper-threading setup, limited CPU max val, execute disabled bit capability, hard drive, removable CD, and here we've got the onboard SATA. Configured SATA's ID, enhancer set to ID at the moment. Onboard device. All the usual spec setups, high definition audio, J-Micron 36X ATA controller, USB 2, USB to operation mode, legacy support for the storage and keyboard, and then also the Super I/O function, which is the serial port and CIR address. I don't know what that is. So power management setup, we've got these setups here. PNP is a PNP, and in PC health you can actually see your fan speed and also your CPU sort of temperatures as well, and you can also set the CPU fan sort of smart modes as well settings. So depending on what temperature you want in it, if it gets hotter you can set it to go sort of spin quicker. So it's pretty good all in all. And also miscellaneous here. You've got a GPU memory clock and spread spectrum settings, and also you can change your DRAM clock as well, and some of the settings as well. So there you go. That's for the BIOS section of the machine.